for being with me today. Today, another special day. Really appreciate it. I have Shawn Hughes, Regional Vice President of Foresters Financial. Shawn, thank you again for being with me today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me again, Mark.
That's good. So, Shawn, if you want to refer to another video we did, interview on life insurance, today we're going to talk about critical illness. So critical illness, another also known as CI in the insurance industry. And what I found, Shawn, is when it comes to critical illness, obviously it's a product, it's an insurance product, but a lot of people understand life insurance, but then when you talk to them about critical illness, they say, well, what is that? They don't know. So can you just help us understand what is critical illness?
Well, critical illness is an effective insurance strategy that one can deploy to really look at the main concept of insuring your paycheck.
Okay.
So when you look at your most important asset in your overall portfolio, a lot of people may come back and say, well, it's my house.
Yeah.
True, that's a valuable asset, but the most important asset in your overall portfolio is your ability to earn an income.
Okay.
And with regards to providing a lump sum tax-free payment in the event of a critical illness, this can effectively ensure that, you know what, you can make ends meet month to month if you happen to become critically ill.
Okay, that's good. So why would a person want to consider getting critical illness for themselves?
I would just let the stats speak for themselves. Okay. And again, when you relate it back to ensuring your paycheck concept, 3 out of 10 individuals prior to the age of 65 are going to be stricken with a critical illness.
Okay.
Pretty staggering stats.
Well, it is, and because when you think about that many people before the age of 65, that is pretty significant. Can you give us some examples of a critical illness?
Most definitely. So I'm going to give you 3 examples because they seem to be the most common in the Canadian marketplace. The first is heart attacks. So I'll share some interesting stats with you about heart attacks. So we have about 70,000 Canadians suffering a heart attack each year. 1 in 2 actually of these heart attack victims are under the age of 65.
Okay.
But the good news story is that 80% of these people will actually survive their first heart attack. So how will they continue to earn an income? And that's where insurance, critical illness insurance is important. The second is cancer. Pretty staggering numbers going back to 2015. About 200,000 of new cases of cancer had occurred back in 2015. Again, a very high relative type of number.
Wow.
60% of these cases occur in people under the age of 70. So that's why it's important to have an insurance strategy in place. And on average, the breakdown is about 72% of males and 77% of females who develop cancer. And again, with our technology, these people will survive, which is good news.
Wow.
Last is the stroke.
Okay.
You probably hear a lot of advertisements about stroke, but again, 50,000 Canadians suffer a stroke each year.
Okay.
And 1 in 3 of these stroke victims are under the age of 65. And again, the survival rate because of our advance in our medical system is at 75%, which is nice.
Well, that's good. And if someone were to have that and they were protected with a critical illness policy, they would get money tax free when they're off, trying to win the battle against these illnesses.
Most definitely. And what happens is if you don't have an effective CI strategy in place, what I find is a lot of people will dip into their assets. And one of the assets they're going to touch first is their RSPs. And you know, when you touch your RSP, there's tax, withholding taxes on making that withdrawal.
Absolutely.
And then of course you have to report that income on your income tax, which puts you substantially in a higher tax bracket. So it's not the most tax efficient way to make sure that your critical illness is covered. And that's why I said critical illness and ensuring your paycheck is extremely important. That's
good. That's very helpful. And you know, I just mentioned for the viewers here, Foresters Financial, they're a unique insurance company, and I have access to many of them, and they have special additional member benefits, and they were mentioned that you want to refer to them on the life insurance interview we did with Shawn. But there's some that are financial and there's some that are fun.
That's correct.
Now with the critical illness, there's an additional one, right? It's called advanced medical. Can you help us understand that?
So this is just an additional feature based on an insurance strategy that you can implement. And if you think of advanced medical, think of it as your own private healthcare practitioner. So if the insured and or their family member, could be their spouse and or their kids, need to speak to a professional about any health related illnesses, advanced medical is a nice little feature that you can again tap into if you need to, which is nice.
That's great. Listen, Shawn, really appreciate you being with me today. Very valuable information for our viewers. And thank you so much again for being with me today. And for those listening, feel free to subscribe for more information like this, and click the bell for notifications. Thank you so much for being with us today. If you have any questions about life insurance or critical illness, please, my contact information is below. Reach out to me. Have a great day.